Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be reviewing It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I highly recommend reading this book. It was my favorite to date and I have so many thoughts and I don't even know if this review is going to be coherent. I'm going to do my best. So I'll start by saying that I read this book yesterday and I couldn't put it down. It was so addictive. I didn't actually plan on finishing it, but I did because it was that amazing. The writing, the story, and just all of the feels. If you don't know who Colleen Hoover is, she is an amazing author that has written more books than I have, but these are the books that I have of hers and I adore them. I have Hopeless, Losing Hope, Ugly Love, Confess, and November 9. The only one that I didn't really care for is Ugly Love, but the other ones were fan-freaking-tastic, and I can't recommend her as an author enough. I mean, her books are just amazing. They're about love and friendship and relationships, and you know, it's not a fairy tale. These are not fairy tales. These are just so engaging and addictive, and they give you all of the feels. Each one is very unique, and the characters just stick with you for so long. But today I'm going to be talking about It Ends With Us, which is her newest release. I actually picked this up on release day earlier this month, and I'm so glad I did. Not only is it a gorgeous cover and an amazing author, but the story is just tragically amazing. That's the best way I can put it. Guys, this is a 5-star read, hands down, but it took me like emotionally from the highest high to the lowest low. These tabs right here are points that I cried. And probably not all of them because I just got tired of marking them, because every few pages I would just break down in tears. They were happy tears, they were sad tears, they were angry tears, they were just tears, 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 tears. I kept crying. I would think about something, or I would relate to something, or I would be pissed off about something, or I would just be so happy, and I just stuck a tab. Yep, I cried again. So thanks a lot, Colleen Hoover. I think this book is best if you really don't know a lot about it going in, because I didn't know a lot about it going in, but I will say that this is one of the more personal books that Colleen Hoover has written. Colleen Hoover has said many times that she writes for entertainment. This was a personal story for her. And at the back there is some author notes, and she says, you know, why she wrote this story and how it was hard, and I completely agree. I can't imagine writing this story. It had to have been very taxing for her as an author. But I just want to say thank you to her so much, because for someone like me, I can relate to this book so much, unfortunately, and it's so important for women out there and guys out there. Just, I think everybody should read this book and maybe learn something. But I do want to give you a little bit of what it's about. The story follows Lily, and when she was growing up, her father was abusive to her mother. And she kind of had to deal with that the entire time growing up. But her mother would always sweep it under the rug and be like, you know, everything's fine. And Lily never understood that. So she had kind of a hate-hate relationship with her father and a love-hate relationship with her mother. She really loved her mother, but she never understood the, you know, the ins and outs of her father and her mother's relationship. When she was 15, she met a boy named Atlas who was homeless. He lived in an abandoned house behind them, and they formed this great friendship, and I just thought that was really cool. One of the parts that I loved about this book is that she kept a diary, and her diary wasn't Dear Diary, it was Dear Ellen, as in Ellen DeGeneres, and I thought that was hilarious because she was a huge fan of the Ellen DeGeneres show. She watched it every day after school, so she would write these diary entries as if she were writing to Ellen herself. So she kind of talks about, you know, the abusive relationship between her mother and her father, and meeting this homeless kid, and their friendship, and just, you know, what transpires after that. So those were included, and I really did enjoy those parts. But this story actually begins with her father died, and she gave the eulogy at his funeral, and she's back in Boston now, sitting on top of a rooftop deck, staring out at the sky, and kind of just like, wow, does it get any worse? But she's always wanted to be a florist, and she ends up opening a floral shop, so I think that that's really cool. And she meets some great friends in here, and she also, you know, enters into a relationship, and just there's so much love and hate and friendship, and just finding yourself, finding your voice, living life, weaving in and out, you know, the journey that is life. And it felt very real, and I'm gonna get emotional. It felt very real, and like I said, there were some highs and there were some lows, and I related to this, and because of that reason, it really touched me. I feel so many things for these characters, and I would continue to read about them and see, you know, where are they now? What are they doing? I want to know what happens next. It was just such a great story. It's super hard to read at times, but at the same time, you need to know what's happening, what's going to happen next, where are the characters going, where have they been, and you just keep reading. So it's very hard to get through. It deals with some very tough topics, but I think this is an important book, and I definitely think this is the best that I have seen from Colleen Hoover to date, and that is saying a lot, because I have rated all of her books 5 stars except for Ugly Love, and I need more Colleen Hoover in my life. I want to be her friend. I want to talk to her about this. I want to, you know, I want you guys to read this, and then I want you to come back and let me know what you thought. And yeah, that's all I can really say. 5 stars, and yeah, I'll see you again in my next video, guys. Bye. $15. All of these, $15. And I already had the first book, so now my collection is